Welcome again to the Silver and Black Coffee Hour. My name is Aaron Blackerby. We are a San Antonio Spurs podcast based in Austin, Texas, boldly going where no Spurs podcast has gone before. And with me are my two buds, and also joining us, very special guest. Actually, let me get the two buds first. Tom Petrini, what's up?
What's up, man? Hanging out. Trade deadline is over, so I can get some rest a little bit tonight, maybe.
Tom will sleep after this. Zach, Montana, how you doing?
Good. Just found time in my busy work day to interview a really good guy to interview, so it's all good.
And rolling right into that, returning guest, friend of the show, VP of Strategic Growth with San Antonio Spurs Sports and Entertainment, Brandon James. Brandon, what is up? Welcome back, man.
Thank you guys. It's an honor to be here, although I feel a little slighted that I wasn't grouped into the two buds category. So
We
it's like,
gotta
here are
we
my
gotta
two
maintain some
buds, and then there's
objectivity.
Brandon.
We can't let the
We have to
people know that
maintain.
we like each other as
I
human
thought I
We,
would get
beings.
third bud status, but I guess apparently
You
not.
got to come
No,
back next year for
you're
that,
okay.
big dog.
you're
Okay, we're recapping third bud status officially anointed onto Brandon James. He is our bud. We always love seeing him around at games and even at the co-working space, which you held a great chat at a few months ago, Brandon, that my wife and I
Thank you.
attended. Um, Brandon, first and foremost, look, how's the leg doing? How's
The
recovery?
Achilles. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you guys heard, but we put our name on what was formerly the 3M half marathon, now the Spurs Austin International half marathon. And so that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I ran that to the chagrin of my physical therapist and doctor because I have a partially torn Achilles, but I couldn't not run our inaugural Spurs half marathon. And so now we're in full recovery mode. Thank you for asking.
Can we get a
Nice,
time on
man.
the half marathon?
Uh, well, this could be fact checked, so I better be accurate. I think it was mid 140s, mid hour and 40 minutes. So not my fastest, but we got it done.
playing through an injury, not something I would expect from the Spurs brain trust, but I guess it's a little lower stakes for
The
your.
training staff
Wow.
is known to be pretty conservative on these sorts of things, you know?
I
Brandon
can't
playing
believe
through
they're gonna call
pain.
you back.
Wow. Shaking shots early.
No, but it's good to hear that you're getting back out there, man. And speaking of how you're doing, it's happy trade deadline day. We're officially past it. Um, how is that day for you? Usually, the hours leading up to it. How much sleep are you getting?
Yeah, no, we have such a good group. They've been at this for a while. They're so sophisticated in how they approach trade deadline, well, how they approach every day, in particular trade deadline. And so those guys were prepared for any scenario and prepared to put our team in a position to maintain the competitive nature we've been at this season, but also making sure that in the future we have the necessary flexibility to operate, as we talked about earlier, in this evolving NBA economic landscape. And so those guys do a tremendous job. And so I have very little input these days on the inner workings of trade deadline, but I rest easy knowing that it's in really good hands.
You mentioned it a little bit there. The flexibility that as sort of a paramount value was seen from the outside looking in as something that the Spurs were valuing, now and beyond this trade deadline, right? Why why is taking on long-term contracts or giving up first round picks such a no-no for a team that has the roster construction that you guys do right now?
Well, there's only so many ways to build a competitive team, and I think the best positioned teams are the ones that have the ability to build in the way that makes sense for them, not necessarily where they are in the season. So some teams have to wait for a trade deadline, some teams have to wait for a draft. We like to position ourselves to be able to maneuver when we have needs, and it just so happens that oftentimes falls in some of these big moments, but sometimes it doesn't. But in order to maintain that, you have to have a degree of flexibility so that when the opportunity is there, you're ready as a team to make those moves. And our group has done an absolute tremendous job over the past several years doing that. And all the really good teams I think have done similar.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of think sometimes with like the internet and media discourse that happens, especially around this time, is that there's this idea that teams just have flow charts and they're like Charlie from That's Always Sunny meme with all the different like, and then this happens and this happens and everything. So hearing about how y'all value that type of flexibility, what do you think though, Brandon, within kind of the media discourse that like people aren't coming into it or aren't thinking about or as isn't discussed as much as the way not just the Spurs, but I'm kind of talking more holistically from like a front office responsibility standpoint that you don't think is discussed as well or could have like more light shined on it. Um,
Yeah. I think this is probably I don't know how obvious this is, but the human element of not knowing tomorrow if you're going to be playing in a red jersey or a blue jersey. Um, so obviously the competitive part of it and playing with a different team, but these players have families, they have houses, they have a lot of roots in place in these cities that they play in, and to not know, and not only not know, but to not be in control of where their next destination could be. There's a human element that I don't think gets talked about and appreciated enough. Not only what that does for the individual player and their family, but their teammates. These guys spend so much time around one another, so much time with our coaches and training staff. Those are real forged relationships. And in one day's time, through no fault of anyone's own, you could be on a different team. And I think that can be really tough. And it can be really tough for a team to absorb. It can also be obviously tough for a player and their respective families. So I wish more attention was paid to that as we call for trades. I think everyone just wants a flurry of trades all day, every day. But keeping in mind that these are humans with real life things that they have to deal with and that come along with getting traded to other organizations.
yeah, absolutely. Like I have my coffee spot. If for whatever reason my job was like, no, you have to go work at this other company now in Dallas, and I'd be like, "Oh God, like I'm not going to go work in Dallas first and foremost." So yeah, it'd be tough. So
And I
I
feel
think
like
we,
over the years we've seen the Spurs be pretty sensitive to that and, look out for guys. And I think they've, earned some goodwill, across the league with players in showing that. As we mentioned at the top, Austin-based Spurs podcast. Should we talk about Austin Week? Because I am
Yeah, let's
so
do it.
very excited, man. This is
it's
what year
Yeah.
is this of Austin Week?
Fourth.
This is year four, yeah.
yeah, year
Four.
four. And Brandon, you when I went to y'all's discussion over at y'all's office a few months ago, there was discussion about the success so far of Austin Spurs Week and how it has now led to essentially a whole new department within the Spurs organization, of having even a more global focus on growing the brand. Can you kind of explain to us and the listeners and viewers like how that came about and like what that evolution has been from Austin Spurs Week now into this global team?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. This is an important key initiative for our organization and something we're immensely proud of. And so when we got to Austin, my team, a few years ago, we one of our main things to do was to really learn and understand what the community of Austin needed from an NBA basketball team and to meet them where they are. And it was apparent that the team wanted to see and feel our brand on a more regular basis. And so we had all these ideas on how to do that, and essentially landed on obviously the year-round activations we do with watch parties and happy hours and those types of events, but really having a sort of culmination, sort of like a homecoming week for Spurs basketball here in Austin. And then we do, which we can get into for this coming up Spurs week, but we do all kinds of activations from retail pop-ups to court unveilings to block parties to community concerts. We've done it all, and we've seen a lot of success, especially for understanding that not everyone can make it to the Moody Center for a game. How can we meet the fans where they're at and allow them to feel and touch our brand in an authentic way? But to your point on our globalization efforts, we're essentially taking a similar template that we've built here in Austin globally. And so the release actually comes out tomorrow. I'm not sure when this podcast goes live, but we're taking Spurs Week to Paris this year. We're really excited to have a week-long activation in the city center of Paris. And instead of doing a game there, which we're not playing physically in Paris this year, we're doing a massive watch party. So on Sunday, March 1st, we have a matinee game against the New York Knicks, which happens to be prime time in Paris. So we'll have a week long activations leading up to that watch party on that Sunday at prime time in Paris at our Jersey Patch partner Ledger's downtown headquarters, which has a 360-degree view of the entire city. And it's just a way for us to celebrate Spurs basketball and our French heritage. And we're really excited to sort of see that come to life. And the team here in Austin and back in San Antonio has spent a lot of time making sure that Spurs Week Austin and Spurs Week Paris is reflective of all the things that we're doing in San Antonio for fans that may not be able to make it to San Antonio.
That's awesome. You mentioned we did mention that this is the fourth year of the Spurs being in Austin. What are some things that you've seen change over the last 4 years, and what are your favorite parts about the event?
Uh, I mean, lots has changed. I'll get to that in a second. One of my favorite things is just meeting the fans. I think I had an appreciation for appetite of NBA basketball here in Austin, but I didn't really have an appreciation for the Spurs avidity and fandom here in Austin. And that is on full display during that week. And so it's really cool to interact with our fans and get to see them interact and be up close with our players, with our Coyote, with our Hype Squad team, with our executives who come to town the entire week. That part's really been cool. In terms of what's changed, again, we try to meet the community where they're at. One year we did it during South by, and so we had a bunch of South by activations. This year and the past year we did it right after All Star, and so we lean into that, whether it be integrations with the Austin Marathon on that Sunday to kick it off, All Star Game watch party, free coffee throughout the week is something that's been a mainstay for us. And so really just evolving on wherever the community is going and sort of being a part of that.
As sort of part of your sustained effort in, because you're the growth and development guy, right? Like you've put 4 years into growing and developing here. How do you measure that growth? And what are you seeing on that end of, I guess, the early returns for you guys on, you know, meeting this
Yeah, so
community?
I think there's a few buckets to sort of evaluate how effective we're being in our growth efforts. First and foremost, we're a community-driven organization, and so how many people are we impacting through our work here? We've done several court unveilings where we've refurbished otherwise underserved courts here in and around the city. And so we're going to do that again this week. And we have a ton of youth programming, youth camps and clinics. Our youth sports program is growing massively here in Austin. And so first and foremost is how many people are we using basketball as a bridge to connect within our community. Second is our brand proliferation. So whether that be fan engagement or just brand awareness, people becoming more familiar with who we are as a brand. There's obviously measurable ways to identify that, whether it be fan club signups, digital engagement, etc. All those numbers are trending up and to the right. We're really excited about that. And then there's the sort of corporate partnership procurement efforts. There's a ton of companies here in Austin, and trying to sort of learn from them on what is important to them and allow the Spurs to help them accomplish the things that they're trying to achieve. I think, as you guys well know, sports has the ability to bring together unique audiences. And I think companies are starting to see that they can use us as a vehicle to do that, not only in San Antonio, not only in Austin, but globally. And so our group is really leaning into how do we show up for our current partners and prospective partners to really help them accomplish their goals using the Spurs as a vehicle.
Yeah. Brandon, so what's on the docket for this week, for this upcoming Austin Spurs week?
Yeah, so this is breaking news because the release hasn't gone out yet. But we have something for everyone. We're bringing back Casa de Spurs. I don't know if you guys remember that. We did it at Native Hostel, I believe, a few years ago. But we're bringing back Casa de Spurs right there on Congress Avenue. So from February 18th through the 21st, there's going to be all day programming essentially where you can come, hang out with the trophies, and get free coffee. And there's a bunch of activations going on. So I'll get to more on that, but free coffees for fans at Joe's and Manana's from 7 to 11. That's Monday through Wednesday. So make sure people put a note in their calendar that Joe's and Manana coffee shops around the city, coffee's on us. Um, that Sunday, the 15th, which is really the kickoff, is the Austin Marathon. We're going to have a massive presence there, particularly at the finish line, as we always do. And then that evening, we're going to do a watch party at Bolden Acres, the one up north, I believe. Monday, we're going to have an event at our Casa de Spurs. Thursday's the game. Friday's our community court unveiling. Saturday's the game. And then the G League sort of wraps up the weekend with a game in Cedar Park on the 22nd, that Sunday. And so there's something for everyone. If you want more information, quick plug here. If you text Spurs Week, one word, to 210-444-5940, it'll have all the information you need. It'll text you daily on what's going on, where to find prizes, where to win cool things, where to see players, all that sort of stuff. If you text that number, let's see if you guys have some graphic abilities where you could put that number
We
maybe below my name.
we got some graphic abilities. I
We're
I
also
don't
want
know. I
to,
haven't seen it.
not lately.
gonna have some
Brandon.
here and here and here. We're just gonna
Look,
throw it out there.
Look, with this
I want to
podcast,
see it.
Brandon, you understand, especially during the year, like information's quick. Like sometimes, I can't like put my artistic spin on things. Like we just gotta get it out to the people, you know?
We
Sounds like
value
an excuse. Sounds like an excuse, guys.
We
I don't
value
know.
Well,
flexibility also, but
look,
That's
What
crazy.
do you
I-
produce podcasts? You wanna come on? Or you seem like a
I'm
busy
not,
guy, but
This
if
is
you
not
want,
my lane. This is
I'm
not
not,
my lane.
I'm not saying it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it's not an excuse. I'm just, I'm just saying, if I could though, Brandon, put in a request at some point for the court that I play
Please.
at to be refurbished, that
Okay.
would be great.
Your
There's just
driveway? Is that your
That's
driveway?
hilarious.
no, man, no, dude. My driveway actually has like a bit of a slope. It's not a good place to put a hoop, despite my wife saying, "Oh, we could put a hoop here." I'm like, I will mess up my shot. But I'll take this offline with you, Brandon, because the place I go, it's got a good community that comes there. And just when it rains, there's like divots and puddles on it that we have like a community, what is it? Leaf blower that we use to dry off the court ahead of time.
Hey, we all need that.
I don't want to gloss over the fact that man who is obsessed with basketball tells wife no to court in yard. Like, let's just make sure I
Usually
heard
that's
that
a
correctly.
right yes. There's no like
Right.
yeah, like hey, we'll put it
Because
out
I'm
there.
like, what are we
Look,
doing here?
my obsession to basketball deals with not wanting to screw up my shot because I have a great 3-point shot,
Right.
as many people can attest to yesterday that I cooked. But
Right.
if I'm doing that on a
man.
slope, look, it's going to be messing up. So,
All right,
Are you
Um,
Brent.
guys vouching for this shot?
What's up?
I'm a
Are you
better
guys
shooter.
vouching
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
shot?
oh yeah, he's
AB can
he's
shoot. AB can
he's
shoot,
got
but
he's got
but
that.
I'm
AB
He's
don't want to
I'm
get in a
the
3-point contest with your boy over here. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
no,
That's all I'm
I'm a
saying.
better
No,
I'm
that's
a
all I'm
better
saying. AB, you
shooter.
can pull up. We'll do it. We'll do
I'm a
it.
better
Brandon,
shooter
we'll
than
pull up. We'll do
than
it.
y'all.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make it happen.
Definitely a better
this is
shooter than
great.
me. You're probably a better
Tell
Yeah,
you
shooter
we're
than
not.
what.
We're
Zach,
not worried
but
about
Zach
that.
Tell
can
you
get
We're
what,
not.
hot.
Zach.
We'll do our
Tell
own
you
fan
what, Zach.
initiative.
We'll go to this refurbished court
Yeah,
on
we'll do it.
Friday.
Yeah,
We'll get one of those Spurs sponsored balls.
Okay.
We'll put up some shots, okay?
yeah,
After
Now
Harrison
we're
Barnes
yeah.
There you
probably
talking.
go.
Now
dedicates
we're
the court.
There we
talking.
go.
So
Yeah, there we'll get our own
All the listeners
we'll
come to the
we'll get our
court
own
unveiling if
content.
you want to see this one-on-one. Let's
There we
go.
go. Yo, Brandon, I
of
got
course
one more.
Absolutely.
Last year they had y'all had like the clinic with the kids, so it would just be a little weird to like have Zach and I talking shit to each other while kids are doing like
No,
fundamental
we'll just go
It's
basketball.
join.
okay. They got to
We'll
learn.
go join the clinic. We'll go join the clinic. Go beat up on some kids. Hey, Brandon, I got one more question. I've been in Austin for
Yeah,
14
please.
years, and I think it's been quite shocking to see the growth that the Spurs have had over the last four. It's been it's great as a Spurs fan to see it. It makes it a lot easier to go to watch parties and stuff like that, knowing there are going to be fans there. What is y'all's overall 10-year goal with being in Austin? I know there's a long-term goal, short-term goal. What is the 10-year plan here?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. First of all, I got to give you guys a shout out. Our brand is growing. Our Spurs presence and awareness is absolutely growing, and it's in large part to friends of the program like you guys are. So I want to first make sure to acknowledge that we couldn't do this on our own. It's with the voice of people who have been in support from day one, and you guys are a part of that. In terms of our future and where we see ourselves in 10 years, I think we're starting to see it already. More fans are coming to our games in San Antonio. Obviously, the team is performing better, but I think people are starting to build more community here in Austin, and coming down to our games. We launched a bus program this year, beta version, and that's been very well received. There's another one actually coming up this Saturday against the Mavs, and so it's a palpable sort of feeling that fans are sort of now having towards our group and our organization. And I think just walking around and seeing Spurs paraphernalia, I see it more on a regular basis. And so I think Austin people or the Austin community is so transient. They move from all over the place. I think running into people in Austin and asking them who their favorite NBA team is, we want them to say the Spurs, and that's increasingly starting to happen. Not that it didn't before, but I think people are starting to like see the community around them, which obviously makes a difference, and that's been pretty cool to see.
I gotta ask because um, this I think illustrates a lot of what we've talked about, and something you hit on right there, the increased success, the how that drives, the community. Um, my mom and sister are coming to visit from New York, and they asked if the dates worked, and I was like, yeah, but the Spurs are playing in Austin on that Saturday, so like I'll be busy, if that's okay with you guys. And they're like, yeah, no, that's okay. And my mom and sister, like their favorite sport is birding, right? They're looking for cool geese, you know? They do not do sports
Yeah,
ball, right? And so as a joke, I was like, you guys want to go to the game? And my mom was like, yeah, I'm looking at tickets already. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, no, like it seems like fun. Like, and they got this tall
yeah,
guy. And I'm like, they do got that tall guy.
they do.
And the success that the tall guy brings, right? And we've talked about roster management and finding sponsors and reaching fans. How much does the recent success with Victor allow for all of that and just change the fortunes of a franchise?
Yeah, so a few things to hit on in that question. I think Victor himself is must-see TV, whether you like sports or not. He is just that much of an athlete, of a specimen that it's just really cool to see whether you appreciate sports or not. I think the way he's bought into the team, I think the way the team has bought into him has been really cool to see. So if people aren't necessarily into basketball, but they're into teamwork and guys working together to achieve really cool things, I think we've leaned into as an organization some unique content, whether it be some more fashion stuff, some more lifestyle stuff. So again, on I keep saying this, but meeting the fans where they are. I've talked to several people who have never watched a basketball game in their life, but they know that our players dress really well, and so they are into the tunnel fits and how the players come dressed, excuse me, to games. And so it's just been really cool to see it all come together. These are things that um, we definitely got lucky with some ping pong ball bounces, but we've been working towards this for a long time organizationally and bringing together our global expansion, bringing together the Austin piece, bringing together a competitive basketball program, bringing together our sort of digital engagement and the evolution of that. And so all of that coming together at the same time, it's a really good time to be a part of Spurs basketball, and our fans are included in that. So I'm excited for them just as much as I am for our organization.
I got one more question for you. I guess two, but they're very related. One, are we getting anything special from the Jackals in Austin? Are we expecting a heavy Jackal presence? And two, if that's Keldon behind you, I mean, what can you
It
say about
is,
what has meant to this team
yeah.
this year as his suspended year
Well,
came up?
they're both related in that they both bring energy every night without fail, no matter the score, and so that's pretty cool to see. The Jackals will be on site here at the Moody games, and in addition, we have the Austin FC supporters, the Verde or Los Verde.
Let's go.
They're going to be
Dang,
near the Jackals, and so we're going to have a pretty rowdy section
That's
of
big.
Badass.
fans hooting and hollering, and so that's going to be really cool to see. But again, the support from the community, us leaning into things like the Jackals that we historically have shied away from. That's stuff that Victor has brought to our program. That's stuff our program has been open to and receptive to. And it's really cool to see the fans receptive to all that and all that coming together.
The Austin FC supporters, that's big because I mean, I don't know if you've been to one of those games in that section. It's rowdy, it's fun.
It's rowdy.
We need some Jackals cross
It's rowdy.
training. We need to get all of the Jackals in there
There will be
throwing
beer being
water
thrown upon
for
everybody if
every
that's the
goal.
case.
Need that.
Yeah.
Need that badly.
It's gonna be a fun environment. Actually, the Austin FC has their home opener the same time as our Saturday game, but they've been great to work with. I think some of their players are coming to our game on Thursday, so
Sick.
we'll give them some shout out and some love. And again, the supporters will be there, and so just cool to see Austin community come together and support Spurs basketball.
It's a fun sports city, man. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot of interest, so it's cool to see the San
for
Antonio
sure.
Spurs engaging so much. We know
yeah.
we're getting sort of toward the end of your time. I- Aaron or Zach, any last quick ones, or should we give Brandon the floor to let us know how we can
I just
figure
miss
out what's
seeing
going
Brandon
on?
on the lake and giving him a high five when I'm riding my bike by him. I just don't see him anymore. That's the only bad part about it. So it's all good though. Other than that, we're all right.
I'll be back. I'll be back on the trail. I'm actually gonna hit the trail. This is gonna be my first run in several weeks this
All
Saturday. So
right.
hopefully I see you
All
out
right.
there zooming on your bike.
All right.
He's got to train. We got so much coming up with Austin Spurs week. Uh, Brandon, anything else you got to say just before we log off?
Just huge thank you to you guys. Huge thank you to everyone listening. Your fandom, your support means a ton. Come out and support everything we have going on, whether it be watch parties, Casa de Spurs, coming to the game. Come say hi. Our headquarters are right here downtown Austin near Manana. If you're in the area, come say hi. Just thank you for all the support, and we're just getting started. We're just scratching the surface on Spurs basketball here in Austin and globally for that matter. So lean in because it's going to be a fun ride.
Hey, thank you again, Brandon. And just to add one more to that programming note for Austin Spurs Week, you heard it here first as we scheduled this. There will be a 3-point contest amongst the Silver and Black Coffee
Yes.
Hour hosts. I look
Let's
forward to
go.
smoking Tom and Zach
Tom will not be
real
involved.
easy.
I'll be
Get
a
a little
referee. You
double
don't want to
rims
see
on
my
this.
jump
I
shot.
don't doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Tom's breaking the backboard. We don't need him involved. It's just you and I.
All
Rebound. I'll
right.
shag boards.
Look, thank you again, Brandon. This has been the Silver and Black Coffee Hour with 3 of my buds on
Oh,
this. Brandon, thanks again for your time, man. We'll definitely be seeing you during Austin Spurs Week. And go Spurs, go to everyone out there. And see y'all soon. Peace.
guys,
Uh,
appreciate it. Have a good one.